You just watched someone win $8,000 on a slot machine. The crowd is going crazy, the lights are flashing in a hypnotic rhythm, and the winner is screaming with pure, unadulterated joy. It looks like a life-changing moment of luck. But here is the secret that casino executives and floor managers will never say out loud. That win was decided 0.003 seconds before the reels even started moving. The lights, the spinning wheels, the dramatic pauses, they were all just a digital hallucination designed to waste time while the computer waited to show you the result it had already picked. Once you understand what is actually happening inside these cabinets, you will never look at a slot machine the same way again. A former slot engineer is about to reveal the exact technology that controls every spin, every outcome, and every dollar you have ever fed into a machine. What we are about to cover isn't conspiracy theory. It is the actual proprietary programming, the cold mechanics, and the hidden systems that casinos have kept locked behind closed doors for decades. By the end of this analysis, you will understand the mathematics of slots better than 99% of the people currently sitting on a casino floor. If you want to understand the real math behind the games and uncover the mechanics the house doesn't want you to know, make sure to subscribe. We are peeling back the curtain on the entire industry. Now, let's expose the mechanism. Every modern slot machine you have ever touched, from the dusty corners of a local pub to the high-limit rooms of Las Vegas, has a computer chip inside it. This chip is the brain, the boss, and the ultimate decision-maker. Inside that chip runs a piece of software called a random number generator, or RNG. This is the single most important concept to grasp. The RNG is a software program that generates random numbers constantly, non-stop, every single second of every single day. We're talking about hundreds, sometimes thousands of numbers being cycled through per second, even when nobody is playing the machine. Former slot engineers have confirmed that this program never sleeps. The machine could be sitting there completely idle for 6 hours straight at 3 a.m. with nobody touching it, and the RNG inside is still cycling through billions of number combinations in the dark. Picture this scenario. You walk up to a machine called Fire Diamond Supreme. You insert your cash. You set your bet to $2. You press the spin button. At that exact microsecond, faster than you can blink, faster than your nerve endings can even register the texture of the button, the RNG freezes. It captures the number it was generating at that precise instant of contact. Let's say that number is 2,847,391. That number gets fed into the machine's logic board, which translates it into a real position. The software instantly calculates that this specific number equals real 1 landing on position 47, real 2 on position 112, and real 3 on position 8. And just like that, your financial fate is sealed. Before the reels move even 1 millimeter, the machine already knows if you won or lost. This brings us to the part that blows most players' minds. Those spinning reels you're staring at, they're fake. Well, not fake in the sense that they aren't physically or digitally spinning, but fake in the sense that they are not deciding anything. They're just a visual show, pure entertainment. The outcome was locked in the instant you press that button. Everything you see after that point, the reels slowly spinning, the dramatic slowdown on the last reel, the symbols lining up, that is all just animation designed to build suspense. Former technicians who have worked on these machines for years admit that the reels could stop instantly and show you the result in half a second, but nobody would play that game. It wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't flood your brain with dopamine. So manufacturers program this elaborate spinning animation to make you think something is happening, to make you feel like there is drama and possibility unfolding in real time. But the truth is, it's all theater. The decision was made before the show even started. Think about every time you have sat there watching the third reel slowly come to a stop, heart pounding, hoping that jackpot symbol lands. You feel like you're in the moment, influencing the game with your hope. But the machine already knew. It knew you were going to lose before that reel started slowing down. Or if you won, it knew that too. You had zero control, zero influence. You pressed a button at a random moment in time, and the RNG captured whatever number it happened to be generating at that exact instant. That's the entire game. I'm curious, and I want you to be honest here. Before learning this, did you believe that the machine was deciding the outcome while the reels were spinning, or did you suspect it was instant? Do you think skill plays any role here, or is it purely timing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, you might be wondering,
How does the RNG decide which numbers represent winning combinations and which ones represent losing combinations? That is where something called the pair sheet comes in. Every single slot machine has a pair sheet. This is a detailed blueprint created by mathematicians and programmers when they design the game. The pair sheet lists every symbol on every reel, how many times each symbol appears, and what the payout is for each winning combination. This document is the secret formula that determines whether a machine is loose or tight. Here is how the deception works. Let's say you are playing a classic 3-reel slot. You look at the physical reel and you count 22 symbols on it. You see cherries, bars, sevens, and blanks. You do the quick math in your head and think, okay, there's one Jackpot 7 out of 22 stops, so I have about a 1 in 22 chance of landing it on this reel. Wrong. That is the illusion casinos want you to believe. Those 22 physical stops you can see are actually mapped to what is called a virtual reel, and that virtual reel is invisible to you. Former slot programmers revealed that this virtual reel can have 64 stops, 128 stops, 256 stops, or even 512 stops, depending on how the manufacturer designed it. So when the RNG spits out a random number, that number corresponds to a position on the virtual reel, not the physical reel you're looking at. Let me break this down with a concrete example. That Jackpot 7 you saw on the physical reel, on the virtual reel, the one that actually matters, it might only be assigned to 2 positions out of 256. Meanwhile, the blank space right next to it might be assigned to 40 positions out of 256. So your actual odds of landing the Jackpot 7 aren't 1 in 22 like your eyes told you. They're more like 2 in 256, which is about 1 in 128. The machine then tells the physical reel to stop at whichever symbol corresponds to that virtual position. You see the blank space land and you think, man, I was so close. The jackpot was right there. But mathematically, you were not close at all. That blank had 20 times more virtual stops than the jackpot symbol. The near miss you just experienced was programmed into the machine deliberately. Let me tell you about a programmer named Richard who worked for one of the major slot manufacturers for 8 years. He explained to colleagues how they deliberately weight the reels differently to exploit this virtual mapping. The first reel might have 10 virtual stops assigned to the jackpot symbol. The second reel might have 8. But the third reel? The third reel might only have 2. This creates a carefully engineered illusion. You hit 2 jackpot symbols frequently, and your brain starts firing dopamine, convinced you are about to hit big. Then the third reel shows a blank, and you feel frustrated but hopeful. You tell yourself, I was so close, next time. So you spin again and again. That is the exact psychological response the programmers designed for. Richard said they run thousands of simulations to perfect that specific feeling of the near miss. It has to be frequent enough to keep you chasing, but not so frequent that you realize the game is rigged against you. This leads us to the most misunderstood concept in the entire casino, return to player, or RTP. This is the percentage of all wagered money that a machine is programmed to pay back over its lifetime. If a machine has a 92% RTP, that means over millions and millions of spins, it will return $92 for every $100 put into it. The casino keeps the other 8. That's the house edge. That's their profit. But here's what players constantly get wrong. They think if a machine has a high RTP, they should get most of their money back during their specific session. That's not how it works at all. You could sit down, put in $100, and the machine could take every penny in 15 minutes without giving you a single meaningful win. RTP is a long-term mathematical average calculated over hundreds of thousands of spins. Your individual session is statistically irrelevant to that number. To truly understand why you lose, you have to understand volatility. This determines how the payouts are distributed.
High volatility machines are the ones that destroy bankrolls the fastest. These are the games with massive jackpots and elaborate bonus features. They can go 200 or 300 spins, dead spin after dead spin, without giving you anything substantial. A woman named Patricia is a perfect example of how this trap works. She played a high volatility machine called Aztec Gold for 3 hours straight. She tracked her results carefully. In those 3 hours, she put $900 into the machine. She triggered the bonus round 4 times. The first 3 were small, but the fourth paid $280. She eventually cashed out with $125 left. When her husband asked how she did, she said, "Pretty good. I hit a $280 bonus." She didn't mention, and perhaps didn't even emotionally register, that she had lost $775 overall. Her brain focused on the big win and filtered out the slow, steady drain of her money. Former employees say this is the most common cognitive bias they observe. Players remember their peak moments and forget the cost of achieving them. Now, let's destroy the myths that casinos love because they keep you playing inefficiently. Myth number 1 is that machines run hot and cold. People genuinely believe that if a machine just paid out a big jackpot, it is going to go cold for a while to recover the money, or if a machine hasn't hit in hours, it is due. Both statements are completely mathematically false. Every single spin is independent. The RNG has no memory. It doesn't know it just paid out $3,000. It generates random numbers spin after spin with exactly the same odds every single time. If someone hits a jackpot and walks away, and you sit down at that machine, your very first spin has the exact same odds of hitting the jackpot again as the spin that just paid out. The machine doesn't need to recover money. The math ensures the casino wins over time regardless of short-term variance. Myth number 2 is that the time of day matters. Players swear that casinos tighten machines on busy Friday nights and loosen them on slow Tuesday afternoons. This is fiction. Changing a machine's settings usually requires physically opening it, replacing a chip, and filing paperwork with gaming regulators. Casinos are not doing this daily based on foot traffic. The machine runs the same program at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday as it does at midnight on New Year's Eve. And perhaps the most ridiculous myth is that using your Players Club card makes you lose more. People think the card tells the machine to pay out less because the casino doesn't want to give them points. This is absurd. The card reader and the game software are on completely separate systems. The machine doesn't know who you are. It doesn't care if you're a high roller or a first-time visitor. Not using your card just means you're throwing away free comps while facing the exact same mathematical odds. We also need to talk about progressive jackpots, because these are the machines that create the most financial damage. A progressive slot has a jackpot that grows every time someone plays, often linked across multiple casinos. To fund that massive prize pool, the base game RTP is usually significantly lower than regular slots. You might be playing a machine with an 88% base RTP compared to 94% on a standard machine. You're paying a premium on every spin for a lottery ticket you will likely never cash. A technician named Robert, who worked on Megabucks machines, noted that the grand prize hit frequency was calculated at approximately 1 in 50 million spins. A player named Gerald played the Wheel of Fortune progressive religiously for 5 years, wagering over $140,000 chasing the dream. He lost $53,000 overall and never hit the big one. Then, 4 months after he quit, someone else hit the progressive on a machine in the same casino after playing for less than 2 hours. Gerald had spent 5 years chasing a ghost. So what can you actually control? You cannot control the RNG. You cannot control the outcome. You cannot predict when a machine will hit. You have exactly 3 decisions that matter. First, which machine you choose to play. Second, how much you bet per spin. And third, when you decide to walk away. The winners, the people who actually enjoy slots without getting destroyed, are the disciplined ones. They set a strict budget before they sit down. They understand that the money is the price of entertainment, just like a concert ticket. If they win, it's a bonus, but they never ever believe they can beat the machine or outsmart the system. They understand the math is locked in. If you're gonna play, accept that every spin is random. Understand that the outcome is determined instantly when you press the button. Check the pay table to understand the volatility. And most importantly, if you stop having fun, if you feel frustrated, stressed, or angry, stop playing immediately. The moment the entertainment ends, the game is over. The RNG doesn't care about your story, your luck, or your hopes. It only cares about generating random numbers. And once you accept that reality, you're finally playing the game on your own terms. Play smart, stay disciplined, and never bet more than you can afford to lose.